There is another thing also we should know is about data. Data is very important and valuable in the science of climate. And for that, we collect data in different ways. We collect data over sea, over land, even over up the air. We use different instruments to collect the data. Or this data give an idea or a statement of the weather or of the climate. Now we know what weather is, what climate it is. Here you can see very clearly in the picture different ways of measuring data. Sometimes you can make a direct measurement, like using instrument, or sometimes you can make a remote, what we call remote sensing. What does it mean? Is you are not definitely in touch with what you are trying to make a measurement, but you do it in a remote way. For example, satellite can tell you what is the temperature of the sea. We know that satellite is very far from the sea, is upper in the air, but they can send some ray and can get back information so they can have an idea how hot is the water. So those are different kind of measurement. So it's very important in climate data to make what we call data collection. When the data are collected, they are processed sometimes in real time in order to know what is the state of the weather, and it allows us to make different assessment in the future of the climate. That's one. Second, those data also are quality control. What does it mean? It means are compared so their likelihood, because sometimes some instrument fails, sometimes the measurements are not good, and if you compare it with what is likelihood, you have an idea of this whether this measurement is likely to happen or not. And always these things happen before we store data. And climate people usually store a lot of data in order they can go back in the past and get an idea how was the weather in certain time. If you ask any meteorological services what happened in such and such day, they can always go in their archive and tell you exactly how was the weather, how was the temperature, how was the wind, was it a rainy day or not. So it's very important to know that climate people works on collecting data first and analyzing those data. Data is very, very important and critical.